Okay, so this is class 3 of UiPath RE Framework. So till last class, we have discussed about initialization on a high level, what all steps are present in the initialization. Okay, this we already discussed. Now we will basically we will try to understand this one init all settings, and will debug the code, and we'll try to means see all the steps how bot is executing all the steps. Okay, so let me open this file init all settings. So init all settings is nothing but a separate XAML. This is one XAML XML file, and in this XAML we can see there are 3 arguments, which we already seen here as well. We are having 3 arguments, 2 input argument and 1 output argument. In the input argument we were passing Excel, this Excel file, this config file path. This is present inside the data folder, so that's why data is there. Then slash config.xlsx, and then we are passing basically sorry, array of string, right? So there are 2 values in this array of string, settings and constant, and whatever we will get output from this one, from this out underscore config variable, we are storing into another variable config, which is present inside the main XAML. Okay, so same variables we can see here, same 3 arguments, we can see here, right? And these are the default value assigned. For out argument, there is no default value not supported, so that's why there is no default value. For input argument, these are the default value. Okay, so basically what we are doing in init all setting or initialization, init all settings XAML basically. So first of all, we have a log message. So this is going to print in the output panel. This is going to print the same message which is written here, initializing settings. Then we have a assign variable. We have a assign activity basically. We have a assign activity, and we are initializing this variable out config. Out config is an argument, right? So this argument, okay, we are initializing. How I can say we are initializing? We are using new dictionary of string comma object. This is nothing but initialization. So whenever we are using collection type of variable, okay, collection type of variable like dictionary is what type of variable? It is a collection type of variable. So in that case, before using that variable, we must initialize that. This is applicable in Java as well, in .NET as well. Whenever we are using collection type of variable, okay, then before using that variable, we should initialize that variable, otherwise we will get error. Okay, so that's why we are just initializing it. Okay, so what will happen in initialization? Memory will be allocated in the runtime. One memory will be allocated. Okay, and but value will be 0. Value will nothing be there. It will be empty. Okay, the only thing is memory will be allocated. We'll come to that one. Okay, after that, what we are doing? We have a for each. And for each for what means, if it is a for each, that means we should have a collection of data, then only we can use the for each, right, activity. So as we can see, we are using what variable? In config seeds, this argument. So in this argument there are 2 values, settings and constant. So basically this for each will run 2 times, first for settings and second time for constant. Okay, here we have basically we are reading the Excel sheet. Okay, so let me do one thing. Instead of going in this way, let me run this process in a debug mode, and then we'll see step by step. Okay, so I'm starting from very beginning here, from main. Okay, so let me click on the step into. Once we click on the step into, you will see this highlighted, this activity got highlighted. So currently our code is here, code basically executing this one. We'll click on step into, then what will happen? It will go to initialization. Next step is what? Next step is initialization. So we can see if we click on step into, it came inside the initialization. Our code is now, means now we are in this step. Okay, after this, what is the step? This one, this one. So if I click step into, now we are in this step. Okay, now after this we have to assign this activity will be executed. So here we have a variable called system exception. In last class we already discussed about that. Okay, so let's see what is currently this activity is not executed yet, right? And let's see what is present in this variable. So this variable should be null, right? By default, if you go to variable and see here, the default value is nothing, it is empty. System exception variable is empty. That means nothing should be present here, null. So here in the immediate panel, we can see the runtime values, right? So system exception is null, nothing is stored. And what we are doing in this assign activity? Here we are assigning nothing. So it is already null, and we are again means assigning it to null. So nothing will change, right? Let me execute this one. If I click on step into, now our cursor means our code is in this step. If I click step into, then this step will be executed. Okay, so that is executed, right? And let me show you the value. So it is still null. Why null? Because we assigned nothing, we assigned null. Okay, now let's come here. Now we have a condition. This is the if condition. So in the if condition, we have if part, then part, and the else part, right? And we have a condition here. So in the condition, it is written config is nothing. So if this will return true, then our code will go inside this part. If this will return false, then our code will go to this else part, right? So before executing this one, let me show you what is present in the config variable. Ideally, if we see, this is the config variable and value is nothing, default value is nothing. So it should be null, right? Let's see, config is null. So the condition, let's try to understand what will be the output from this. So null is null, right? We can say that the value of the config is null. So null is null. So this is true. Then it should go to first run, means this one, then part, correct? And let me execute entire line. Config, one second, config is nothing. So let's see, it is returning true, right? Config is nothing, it is returning true. So definitely it will go to then part. Okay, let me execute. So we can see it went inside then part because this condition is true. Okay, and then after that, in this one we have a log message. Log message just to put some message here. Okay, basically in the log file it will be reflected. So here we are printing the primary screen resolution is basically width of the screen. Currently whatever screen we are using, this one, this system. So the system of the means the width of the system, and then height of the system, width by height. So the same it will print. Okay, so you can see it is printing the primary screen resolution is 1920 by 1080, correct? And after this we come to this part where init all settings will be invoked. So if I click on step into, it will directly jump into this XAML. Why? Because we are calling this XAML file we are calling here. Okay, so let me just click on step into. Okay, I clicked on step into. Now you can see, means in our screen it automatically came here, right? Now we are in this step. So in this log message, what it is saying? Initializing settings, right? So same message will be printed here. This is just to print the message, just for tracking purpose. Log message it is. So we can see initializing settings is printed. Okay, so till here any questions, any doubt? कोई भी क्वेश्चंस है, डाउट है तो अभी पूछ सकते हैं, वो क्लैरिफाई करेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग आगे बढ़ेंगे. Okay, I will take that as no. Okay, now see here what we are doing, assigning out config. So basically we have out config argument or variable, we can say. Actually it is argument, but argument is also nothing but a variable. Okay, so currently nothing is default value is nothing. So if I print what is the value in the out config file, so it will show null, the value is null, right? And what we are doing in this step, we are initializing this variable. So to initialize this variable, this is the way how we should write initialization. New, then what type of variable it is. This is a what type of argument it is. This is a dictionary, right? Dictionary. Then we can say string comma object. Okay. So this is the way how we should initialize new string in the bracket of string comma object. Okay. Now if I click on step into, and if I try to print the same, you can see now we are not getting null, we are getting dictionary string comma object and 0. There is 0 value, there is no value, means memory is allocated, runtime memory got allocated, but value is not present. Okay, because to use this variable, memory should be allocated, then only we can insert value in this, otherwise it will not work. Okay, this is applicable in any programming language, in Java, in .NET, in most of the programming language this is applicable. For collection type of data, we should initialize the memory first, so that's why we are initializing here. Okay, now this is done. Now here, this is the for each activity. If you are aware of the Java or any other programming language, for each is to loop. Basically, if we know, if we have a few collections of data, few rows of data, I can say. Okay, in a data table, suppose we have 5 rows, and if you want to loop into all those 5 rows, okay, or you have a string array and you want to loop into those items in the array, then you should use for each loop. Okay, so here in the for each loop, this is the variable array variable, right? This is, if you see, this is a in config seed. So what type it is? String of array, and what value it is present? Let me print. Okay, so in config seed, what is present? So we have 2 data present in this array. Settings is there and constant. So this both are string, right? Both are string, and we have value, settings, and constants. Okay, so this for each will loop 2 times, one for settings and one for constant. Okay, so if I click into step into, then what will happen in the seed? Which value it will pick up? It will pick up the first one, settings value, and the next time when loop will start, then it will pick up the constant value. Okay, so clicking on step into, and now you can, let me show you the seed, right? Seed variable is visible. If I click, you can see now in the seed, settings is there, right? So try to understand this. Okay, so this is the array, this is a string array, and pick one by one item from this array and store it into the seed variable. So first time it will pick up the settings and store into the seed variable. Second time when loop will start, it will pick up the constant and it will store into the seed variable. Okay, and here if you go to properties of this for each, you can see this is the nothing but the variable. Okay, list of items basically, and the type of argument in this list, what type of value is stored. So this is a string. String is stored in this list, right? In this collection or array or whatever it is, in this string type of value is stored. String type of data is stored. So that's why it is selected. String is selected here. Okay. Now, so currently in the seed variable we have settings, right? Now step into. Okay. Now what is this activity? So inside this for each, we have a activity called read range. Read range activity is basically used to read the data from the Excel workbook. Okay, then from which Excel workbook it is going to read? So here we have a path, basically one variable. Okay, what is stored in this variable? In config file. data config data/config.xlsx. From where this value is coming? Here we were calling it, right? Here we were passing this value data/config in this variable. So that's why it is coming here in config file. This value is coming here. And why this value? So if you go to project, you can see our Excel file is present inside a data folder. Okay, and this is the file name. Okay, so what it is going to do, it is going to read this Excel file. This Excel file, this activity is going to read this Excel file. Okay, let me open this Excel file so it will be more clear. So in this Excel file, your means there can be a question, right? Like we have 3 sheets. We have a setting sheet, constant sheets, and asset sheet. So we have 3 sheets. So out of 3 sheets, which sheet bot is going to read? Are bot going to read all 3 sheets or only 1 sheet? If it is 1 sheet, then which sheet, right? So here we can see we are also passing sheet variable. Okay, and we know in the sheet variable what is stored? Settings is stored. Currently settings is stored. So currently bot is going to read settings, this file, and the settings tab, this sheet. Now is bot going to read only one column or some specific cell, only this thing, or the entire data? Okay, so that is also written here in the range. So basically in the range, nothing is written, empty. So empty means whenever we will not write anything here, that means read the entire data present in this sheet. Okay, so bot will read this entire data as a data table. Okay, so let me show you. If you see the output, in the output, we are storing, after reading this data, we are storing it into a variable of type data table. And what is the variable name? dt underscore settings and constants. Okay, till here all clear? कोई doubt है?
नहीं, all good.
Okay. Okay, so now if I okay, let me first close. So, okay, so to read the Excel sheet, Excel should be closed. No one should use this file. If someone is going to, means if I'm using this file, it is open, that means it is blocked by me. Okay, so bot cannot use the same file. So that's why I have to close this file. So I close this file. In reality also, in the initialization, bot will close everything, and then means that everything should be closed. Okay, now before proceeding, let me show you what value is present in this variable. So you can see this is a data table. As I told, this is a data table, right? This is a data table, and in this data table nothing is stored. Null is stored, nothing. Okay, now if I execute this, we can see the value here. Click on step into. So now what happened? Our bot already read this Excel file. Now if I show you, you can see all the data is present, name, value, description, correct? Let me show you from here. So it will be in the data table format. Yep, this was written, right? Let me open the file as well. 1 second, this Excel file. So you can see we were having this column, and this one, right? And here, so we are having name, value, description, right? Name, value, description, then orchestrator queue name, process ABC queue, and the description here. Orchestrator queue name, process ABC queue, and then description. Then second row, then third row. Third row is blank, so that's why it is a blank. Then fourth row. Okay, so this is nothing but a data table. You can see the type here is a data table. Okay, now so settings, whatever data present in the settings, bot already got it into this variable dt underscore settings and constant. Now what bot is going to do? Bot, we have again another for each. Okay, and here the variable we are using the same data table. Basically whatever data table present in this means whatever values present in this data table, store those values, means basically we have to loop into those values first, right? So currently there are 4 values. We have seen that here we have 1 row, 2 row, 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, and 4 row, right? So what will happen? Both will loop 4 times. This loop will, this for each will execute 4 times. Okay, and let me execute this, and the first row will be stored in this one. Okay, now let me show you what is present in the row variable. In the row variable, we can see only first column is present, orchestrator queue name, sorry, first row is present, orchestrator queue name, process ABC, and this is the description. This is the description. Okay, and rest are the type, other data, means okay, we can ignore that, but this is the value. This is nothing but this is the value up to here. This is the first row. Okay, and what is the type of the row? We can see here. Basically this is the, this for each row, for each is for data table. Okay, so it is a data row type. Here we can see data row type is data row. Okay, now for every row, what we are checking string is null or white space. So basically in the name column, okay, we have column, right? This is in the name column, this is in the value column, and this is in the description column. So if in the name column means this column is empty, the value for this column, the first column, right? Let me show you Excel file so it will be more clear. So in the Excel, if this value is empty, in this case here we can see this value is empty, so that bot is checking if the first column is null or white space. Either it is empty or it is a white space, means just a space and nothing else. Okay, then not means this is checking either it is null or white space, and then not is there. So it should not be nothing or white space, then only it will come inside this one. If this is null or white space, then it will go to else part. This one row, okay, currently in the row this value is present, orchestrator queue name, so it is not empty. This is not empty, this will return false. And then we have a not, so false and then not, then it will become true, it will become true, and then so it become true, then our code will go inside this. If there will be nothing, this value is not present, this is empty or nothing, then what will happen? This will become true, and since we have a not, then true plus not will become false, and then what will happen? It will go to else part. Okay, so currently what will happen? Both will go to this one, right? So we can see both came to this one, and here what we are doing, we are assigning, as we can, as I told, we have a out config variable, and what is the type of variable? Dictionary. Okay, so in this dictionary we are assigning whatever value is present. As I told, in the row we have different thing, right? We had okay, you can see row in the second column. Basically in the second column we have a value, and what is the value? Process ABCQ, right? So currently in the row of value in the second column, basically process ABCQ is present. Same thing we are going to assign here. Okay, basically as a key value pair. So in the config we are assigning key as a row of name. Row of name we are assigning as a key, and value we are assigning as a value. Okay, so till now it is just nothing. It is means no value is present in the out config dictionary. Now if I execute this step, and then if we check, then what will happen? In this dictionary we have a key and corresponding value. So what is the key? Key is the orchestrator queue name, and the value will be process ABCQ. So that's why, if you remember, I told that in the config.xlsx, this is nothing but key value pair. So same thing, whatever written in this Excel sheet, same thing we are assigning into a dictionary. We are assigning into a dictionary as a key value pair. This is the key and this is a value as a key value pair. Okay, so we already seen that here in the out dictionary, this is a key and this is a value, right? So this loop, as I told, this loop will run 4 times because there are 4 data. Okay, so for second time again this will come here. Why? Because this value is present, orchestrator queue folder, and corresponding value is nothing. Okay, let me execute this and then let's see again what is present in the out config. So this is the key and value is nothing, value is empty. Okay, the third time it is empty, third row is empty, so that's why it will go to this part, else part. Okay, so it went into else part and nothing happened. Now the fourth time the value is present, key and value both are present, name and value both are present, so it will go to this one. Okay, and then it will assign here, and let's see what is the final output. So we can see now we have a log, f business process name and framework. So it is appending. Okay, one by one it is storing everything in a dictionary. So basically same thing, whatever present is here, we are trying to store everything in a single variable, dictionary variable. Okay, so this become key and this is a value. This is another key and this is corresponding value. This is a third key and this is corresponding value. Okay, and then this was the last repetition for the last row in this data table. So it will come out of this for each. Both will come out of this for each. Okay, both came out of from this for each, and then now both is now if we check the value of the seat, in the seat there should be constant. As I told, in the config seat there are two values, settings and constant. So settings, settings is already stored in the dictionary. Now it's time for constant. Constant should also be stored in the same dictionary as a key value pair. Okay, as a key value pair, settings should also be stored. Okay, so I'm not going to go step by step. I'm just putting a breakpoint here. Okay, so that it will read all the constant and store into the dictionary. Oh sorry, I need to close this. Okay, so it executed, right? And now if we see out, one second, this one, so everything, all the values, all the settings and all the constants are present. Okay, is it clear? So in the constant we have should mark job as faulted. Let's see, it is present here. Let's see, should mark job as faulted and value is false. Value is false, right? Retry number set transaction status. Here is the retry number set transaction status and value is 2. Value is 2, correct? Retry number get transaction item and the value is 2. Retry number get transaction item and value is 2. So everything is stored. So for okay, now we will cover